Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to discuss a little bit the veganism and minimalism. Like what is minimalism and what is the relation with veganism. This is a beautiful match made in heaven, one could say. It is the idea is less but better in both. They are not, of course, the same thing necessarily, but their philosophy is quite similar in some ways. Minimalism is quite awesome. I think it's a very good way of life that tries to minimize the excess, not to have too much, but just live with intention, basically. So we like when we say minimalism, often we can think of maybe people who have nothing in their home except maybe a couple of objects. But this is not necessarily the case. One can have objects, just that objects that with intentions. It's a path that really minimizes anything that we do not need. So we ask ourselves, do we really need this and this and this? And if we don't, then we don't acquire it, or we let go, or we give it to charity or anything. And in this, the video that I propose to watch today is called Minimalism by the Minimalists. It's a really wonderful documentary. It's a full documentary. It was on Netflix in the past, but the authors decided to give it for free, which is quite incredible. So now it's on YouTube, and one can watch it without issue. And it's really a wonderful vision that they had, and also their story is quite inspiring. They don't talk about veganism in that documentary, but it is very much aligned with the vegan lifestyle and the vegan way of eliminating excess and whatever we don't really need. So this is the invitation to watch for today. And at the core of both of them is simplicity. So it's the simplicity of the vegan lifestyle is quite actually very simple, just to minimize basically suffering as much as possible to all beings, all living beings in the entire world, in any way possible. So not only in food, but in all other aspects of life. And minimalism is same thing. It's also about simplicity, not acquiring stuff that we do not need. Like, for example, only having the clothes that we really wear. Because many of us have way too many objects in our life, in our houses. We do not need probably 99% of it. We never use it, but we just keep on acquiring it. think I don't remember the statistics. I think it was like average house in the US, but probably anywhere in the world, is something like 300,000 objects, which is quite staggering. Do we really need 300,000 objects? Probably not. Like most of our basement and storage area is just filled with objects. The bigger the house, basically the more object we have. It's not that bigger house means it's less more space. No, we just try to fill it out with objects which we do not need. So it extends from clothes to also food items, chairs, books, CDs, DVDs, anything that one can think of. The minimalist way is to try to minimize those only to those that we really wish to have, that we want, that we watch. Yes, so it's really good for so many reasons. Maybe one of the most immediate reasons is money. So one needs and spends a lot less money than one really normally spends, because most of our money go to objects which we do not even need. So we buy an object and then we discard it. That's very bad for the planet. It's not many of these objects are not recyclable, and we can share all those things with people who actually do not have maybe anything. So there's no reason to keep objects that we do not need. And it frees up our mind. When we see a house that is cluttered, then our mind is also kind of cluttered. Our energy is directed toward those objects. It's like every object shouts, "Look at me! Look at me! Look at me!" It's like attention-grabbing items. And it's usually one starts with objects that one minimizes, and then one realizes that there are actually more abstract things that one can minimize. For example, like the more in the head, like less thoughts. That's also part of minimalism. It's like not thinking too much, and this is partly because one minimizes the objects. Then the thoughts would be also less, almost automatically. We will not think about anything that we see, or the attraction, the desires of all the objects around us. We become more picky, yes. Possibly we will have less of anything that we do not need. Not to go to the extremes, of course. We do not need to go there, like extreme minimalism, where we have just maybe we own just maybe a couple of objects and then that's it. That would be a bit too much for most people. But yeah, it's things that I really enjoy very much. Some issues is when one doesn't live with minimalists, then it's a bit maybe harder. But at least for oneself, one can live that way. So, but that's okay. I mean, minimalists can live with maximalists, but it's just that one for oneself or something for one's clothes, then it will be quite less and etc. Yeah. So minimalism is intentional living. Um, it's not deprivation. It's not about empty rooms. That's not what minimalism is about. It's about choice. Uh, that is the main aspect of it. It is a choice of only living with what we really need and what we really want, and discarding whatever we do not need. So, what adds value to our life? That's a question that we can ask. Like, for example, if we want to buy some objects, we are very like in the store, it's beautiful and everything, and then we can really ask ourselves before buying it, um, will it add any something to my life? Will I actually use it? Is it really useful? Because we often when we go to a shops, the shops always promote things, maybe things which have less money, like sales, and then we think, oh, I can buy it because I will not be able to buy it tomorrow afterward because it will be too expensive. But it's kind of a trick, and then we end up buying a lot more than we really need. A good example is smartphones that many of us would buy just maybe a new one every year, just because it's the current hype, and everybody's buying it. But it is so wasteful for nature, and we should ask ourselves, do we really need it? Most of the time, no, we really don't need the extra 0.1 inch of the screen, and that is a big brighter, etc. It's just we don't need it. It's just hype, and the old phones usually they end up in the trash, which is a gigantic waste um, for the planet because we have finite resources. We cannot maintain the way we do currently. That's why minimalism is a wonderful path that I would encourage everyone to follow. Not to minimize completely. I mean, uh, we want to have fun. We want to feel happy and joyful. And if some objects do bring joy and happiness, then just we should keep it. If we love books, then we should keep books, all the books. No worry. It's really just it's an intention. It's intentional living, one could say. Intentionally happy and joyful, choiceful, one could say, living. Um, so fewer choices, clearer values. Um, when we have so many like thousands of choices, um, and then and thousands of choices, and each one like asking for our energy and also ethical consideration. This is from the vegan lifestyle, and this is something that the vegan lifestyle brings. It's like liberation through clarity of what we really want, what we really need. Um, So this is also kind of minimalism, where we remove categories of things that we do not need, like consumption stuff, be it food related, entertainment related, or any other categories. And it's a simplification with purpose, which is beautiful. It's like not having animal products, so it simplifies, like shopping, cooking, and dining. We do not need to. We do not need even to think about something that we think about either buying or not. We just not a category for us to buy. So animals are not products. There is no compromise on the ethics. So everything is aligned with our internal compass. We basically do what we always do what's ethical, or we try to. We do our best. So vegan lifestyle is not about perfection, but about doing our best in every situation. Since this is not a vegan world, we navigate in it as best as we can. But there's no compromise from the ethics perspective. And there's no daily inner conflict. So this brings a lot of peace to our mind, and that adds up over time. When one is follows the vegan lifestyle, then one is kind of automatically following a very ethical path that has no or fewer conflicts. Um, at least for a lot of our aspects of life, and one of the most important one as well, because all of us need to eat every day, and the choices that we make have a vast influence on the world, on the planet, on the animals, on the humans too. That if we don't do those, then we have less conflicts. And so that. So it's kind of borderline between the vegan lifestyle and minimalism. They have a lot of similar ideas, similar points. Yes, and the food simplicity. So often we can hear that people may believe that vegan food is very complicated. But it can be as complicated as we want, or as simple as we wish. We don't need to make it complicated. It's just an option. Like vegan food can be as simple as very simple salads with a good dressings. It's very delicious. And it's kind of an elegant simplicity that has been known for a long time. There's no need for complex recipes if one doesn't wish to, or expensive products. Just really real food, and prepared with care and love. And so if one wishes for complexity, of course, that is fine, but it's not required of the vegan lifestyle. So everybody can prepare vegan food that is not expensive, quite inexpensive, and very tasty, and eaten 3 times a day. So minimalism is It's not only about diet, of course. It's about we discussed it in the past presentations, that it is also about clothing, like cosmetics without cruelty, like no entertainments like circuses with animals. So again, it's like choosing simplicity. We do some things that we do not only we do not need, but also we do not want, because we don't want to contribute uh, to um, to the planet and the animal suffering. So what we do is we minimize kind of our options, but in a good way. We minimize it in the sense that um, we do not want to go beyond what ethics dictates. One could say. So this is quite a wonderful thing. When we do anything, we can always ask ourselves: Is this necessary? Is this kind? And then we follow that. So again, it's to try to minimize our footprints on the world, and in that sense, it joins the minimalism aspects of it. Yeah. So like less stuff, less suffering. So when we buy any products, then we can ask ourselves how much was we used, how much was taken, how many resources have been extracted to provide for that objects. Everything that we buy has some demand on the earth. There's nothing that is so-called free. Like if we buy a cloth, then this cloth came from somewhere. Something had to be woven together. If you buy a smartphone, then all the components inside have also been, there's a lot of rare minerals, materials that needs to be used for that. The batteries also, everything has a big price. And we can ask ourselves many questions. So, how much resources, like who paid for that to happen? And yeah, not only in the sense of minimalism, so that's also in the minimalist sense for any products that we buy, but also for the animals. So when for example we buy when we eat meat, what was taken is the animal's life, both freedom and life itself, and also resources for them to eat, because when there are animal products, then they need to be fed before they are butchered, and that is gigantic amount of water, gigantic amount of food. And that food could go also, if we did not do that, that food could go to humans. To humans, there are hundreds of millions of people who starve in this world. And this food could be directed to them very easily. I think it was estimated that we can feed a lot more, like we can feed billions more people very easily if we all if we are all more intentional with our consumption, if we all go plant-based, vegan, then we could feed a lot more people, and there would be no starving in this world. It would be much more like equal. I mean, we would equalize all the world with much less poor, rich, and those kind of stuff. And yeah, so when we choose object, we also need to see who is, if anybody was harmed in the process, be it animals, people, or the planet. But really, yeah, they feel heavy, but they are really empowering. When we ask those questions, we really take control. Again, it's about choice. Choice about what we consume, choice about what we buy, and it frees up our minds also. So, and yeah, the vegan lifestyle try to ensure that animals are never part of that cost, choosing not to consume any animal products. So we remove ourselves from all the industries that causes immense suffering to countless living, breathing, feeling, amazingly wonderful beings. So yeah. Yeah, also from a minimalist point of view, it's also time that is very important. Time itself. So we have, when we consume less, when we do less shopping, that means we can do less cleaning and less worrying. So time is more free to do more meaningful things, which is quite amazing. Like when we buy any object, often we buy things related to that object. Like for example, if we buy a smartphone, then we think we need to buy maybe a case for it. Then that's not the end. We need to buy the earbuds to them, and then we need to buy other cases because we feel like having a case of different color every day just to have some variety, and so on and so forth. So when we buy one thing, often there's a whole like whole groupment of items that we are that we feel we want to buy. It's like one desire begets another desire, and before we know it, we our money run off, and we have much less time because we always think about this, and we need to clean whatever we buy. So if we buy like hundreds of products that we do not need, but maybe we still want to clean up our house, then it takes a lot more time. And then there is storage. We need storage. Many people buy new only storage places, like boxes of storage where they can just put their additional stuff. Even though they may have gigantic houses, it's still not enough. And then it's cost money, so it costs more money, then more worrying, monthly payments, and so on, even though we do not even need it. Yeah, so and this time that we can use for different things like meditation. So if we have less worrying, less shopping, less cleaning, then we have more time for meditation, more time to be present, for connections, and for service to all beings in one way or another. Maybe writing a books, creating a video that would be helpful for people, or the animals, all beings. So we have more time to do all that. So that's why um, being a minimalist is awesome. Um, yeah, and this is like what we talked briefly about. Is like when we start to be like follow both the vegan and the minimalist lifestyle, then it's also the inner changes that happens. So it's like the inner minimalism. We try to minimize like our habits, or at least the bad habits. We try to increase the good habits. We're really picky about which habits we really want, so we can really make like habits follow up, like every day follow our habits and see which ones we need, which ones can be discarded, which ones we should cultivate every day. That's very helpful. And yeah, so we discover that a quieter inner space, something that maybe we did not have for some time because of all this clutter in our life, both physical and mental. So when we discard those noises, then we suddenly find that we have inner peace, like inner clarity, and this desire to always wanting, desiring, then it kind of diminishes, which is wonderful. So yeah, and of course it's more gentle on the impact on the planet. Um, so these are like things that happens in both cases, so minimalist and vegan. So both of them try to be gentle on the planet. Again, because we buy less, we are more intentional with whatever we buy. Animal products are a gigantic toll on the planet. Gigantic. It's completely destroying the planet. It's using vast amount of water that we do not have, a vast amount of pollution. And there's a beautiful saying like living simply so others may simply live. That's a beautiful saying. And yeah, and minimalist, of course, is also part of it. So again, when we consume less, when we don't buy more than we need, like clothes or whatever, or kitchen utensils or food, then a lot of it can go to those who really need it. A good exercise would be to go for our pantry in the kitchen and to see how many products have expired. That can be a fun exercise. You can try it out today. Maybe that should have been the challenge. But yeah, if you just check all the food products that have expired, maybe we would be shocked about how many of those have expired. And we completely forgotten about them, and they are still there for maybe 10, 20 years in the back of our cupboard. Maybe there's life starting to happen in them, and yeah, because we are not mindful about what we consume. So also minimalism and veganism is about mindfulness, very much so. So we about mindfulness, what we consume, in any sense, again, from material or habits perspective, mental perspective, ethical perspective, all kind of perspectives. And both can help a lot with all the environmental crisis that we now have for the planet. Climate change, that's a big one. It's not a hoax. Um, and yeah, we need to do something about it quite fast. And both minimalist and the vegan lifestyle help a lot. If everybody would be minimalist or vegan, it would be incredible for the planet. The planet would thank us a million times. Yeah, and both paths make our life align. And it's not about perfection, of course. It's about doing the best that we can and about choices. So it's not rigid rules, something that impossible standards. We don't say like we can buy maybe have just 10 pieces of clothes and that's it. I mean, it could be a strategy, but it's not about that at all. It's about having whatever we need that we really want, that we really desire, and not just for fleeting moment of desire. For example, a good rule would be before buying anything to actually wait one day and buy it the next day, so that we have time to think it over. Do we really need it? And of course, it doesn't mean you cannot buy just for a bit of fun. But again, being intentional about what we're buying. So if we buy something, possibly it's a good idea to give back something for charity or to sell. So it's like one in, one out. More or less, of course. And this also is linked to our deepest values, deepest wishes. Yeah, our values are like our actions. What we believe becomes what we do. Then we have compassion. That is from the vegan lifestyle, but not only. Also, the minimalist lifestyle is also about compassion. But there's kindness infused in all of our choices. And yeah, just having enough. So having abundance without excess, basically. So it's a quiet life. It's a restful life. It's a peaceful life, and it shows compassion to all and to animals, and it shows that we care for them and about the impact that our actions towards them have. And yeah, so we don't need to accumulate things that we do not need, want, or that are not ethical. Simple as that. So that was the presentation for today. I hope it was useful and interesting. I would suggest if like to start, if you are interested in minimalism, to first watch the documentary. There's another one they did like number 2, but that one is only on Netflix. But the first one I really enjoyed very much. I watched it even several times. It's really quite inspiring. And their stories of the two protagonists is really interesting. And yeah, then watch that, and then in our life we can maybe start to be more minimalist. Maybe check all our clothes. Maybe every day remove one cloth that we do not need, and then put it in a sack, and then give that sack to a charity at the end. Like remove everything, that one object by every day that we do not really need, and that in a way we do not want, and then we will feel lighter. Basically, it's like feeling light in our mind, at least in our environment, and our house will become more meaningful, more choiceful. Like our house become place where we really like want to be. Like everything in it is really what we want, and there would be no clutter or minimal clutter. And yeah, it's a beautiful lifestyle. Both the minimalist and the vegan lifestyles are very much intertwined. And yeah, so thank you. So let's go to our daily practice now. Okay. So let's go to our practice. We do similarly to the previous days, similar sequence. We start with the prayer. And yeah, so just to set a good tone for the day. So you do not have to say the same prayer as me. You can do it in your own way if you wish. You can just listen to what I say. Yeah, it's up to you. But it's so this prayer that I propose is a nice one. It's very simple, but it's profound. Um, so let's start. Just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I will not be angry. Just for today, I will do my work honestly. Just for today, I will show gratitude for my many blessings. Just for today, I will be kind to all living beings. May today be a joyful, peaceful, blissful, and magical day. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all the beings in all the worlds be happy and free. And may our thoughts, words, and deeds contribute in some way to that happiness and freedom for all. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om peace to all of nature, peace to all living beings, all humans, all animals, and finally peace to ourselves, to our own mind. Om. Yeah, so now that we have set a good intention for the day, let's go to the gratefulness aspect or gratefulness practice. So yeah, I said earlier, gratefulness is the mother of all virtues. So when we are grateful, our other virtues develop naturally without even trying to. So that's why gratefulness is super important, and we should be as much grateful as possible in at all time about all people, always thanking everyone around us. So yeah, so let's do that for a couple of minutes. So just be grateful for anything that you wish, material possessions, your family members, um, your body, your wonderful physical body, just such a wonderful gift, wonderful, uh, yeah, just a wonderful body to have. So useful. Um, so to walk in this world, so and to all our teachers that have great graced our life, be it normal teachers from kindergarten to university, or our spiritual teachers, spiritual guides from the past and from the present, or the meditation teachers, yoga teachers, or religious teachers, monks, nuns. Yeah, and so many, and everything basically is a teacher. So all the animals are also teachers. Any object can be a teacher to us, any being. Our teacher shouldn't necessarily be like have their teacher label on them, but we can learn a lot from nature, from animals, from all the animals, from ourselves, from our interactions, etc. So we are grateful to all of nature, to all beings, to all animals, to the food that we have, so much food for many of us. We should reflect also on how we could distribute this food and to make our toll on this planet less by going plant-based, then saving water. So yes, so let's do that. Okay, so now we pass to our physical exercise part of it. Again, very simple one. Just basically, we just want to unloosen our ourselves, our body. So again, we're going to start like in the past with the Sufi rolls. So it's like inhale forward, exhale back in the round. The other way. Come back to center. Then the big bear. Inhale and exhale round forward. Inhale. Come back to center. Then inhale. Exhale, twist to one side. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, turn a bit more. Come back to center. Inhale. Exhale, turn to one side. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, turn a bit more. Come back to center. Then inhale and turn to one side. Back to center. Inhale. Exhale. Back to center. Hands on the shoulders. Just inhale. Exhale back. The other side. Just make some twists and turns with your wrists and fingers. Same thing with your legs, your feet. Back to center, then make a losange with your legs, like this, and then just fold forward very, very lightly. Don't force, don't push. It's very passive. And come back to center. Okay, so that concludes our physical exercise part. Of course, if you practice it at home, you can make it a bit more fluid. the sequence. You don't have me talking, so you can make it a bit faster. And you can decide, for example, if you do a physical exercise, you can also do hard exercises if you wish, one that makes you sweat, and that's okay. But I would recommend not doing too much, so that this is not the main practice, but just part of the practice. So maybe like between 5 and 15 minutes practice. I think in 15 minutes one can make quite hard practices that one will sweat. So that should be enough. And the main practice is really the sitting practices that we are doing, like self-dialogue, meditation, mindfulness, etc. So the physical exercise is just there to unloosen the body, to make the body more supple, so that one can sit in meditation for a longer period of time. And that's basically it. And of course, it's very healthy for the body. So, but we should not go too extreme into too much physical exercise. Can lead to injuries, and then that's not good. Then we would have a hard time to meditate. So yeah, moderation. And so after the physical exercises, we usually do some relaxation, like the days before. Not to be repetitive, but so we're going to do the 31 points because it's a very nice exercise that is very effective, and it's good to repeat things that are good and effective. So basically, that's the idea of doing like a daily routine or daily practice, is to repeat things that are the same or similar from day to day, so that it become something that we become good at. Anything that we repeat every day, we will become very good at it. So let's do that. So the 31 points of relaxation, again, it's called Shavyatra, or it's the corpse journey. It's just focusing on 31 different points of the body. We're going to do it twice. Once I'm going to guide it, and once you're going to do it on your own. And yeah, and it's not about breathing. So it's not like every time we breathe, we focus on a point. No, we should not link breathing with this exercise. This is pure concentration on those points, but not related to the breathing. Not everything is breathing. So yeah, let's do that. So find a comfortable position. You can do it lying down or sitting. And try to first relax the body. Take a few deep breaths from the nose and out from the nose. Relax your shoulders, your back, your head. Relax your face, your eyes. Relax the top of the head, back of the head. Relax your hips, legs, feet, arms, navel. Be completely relaxed. Then bring your entire attention to the space between the eyebrows, the pit of the throat, right shoulder, right elbow, right wrist, tip of the right thumb, tip of the index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Back to the right wrist, right elbow, right shoulder, pit of the throat, left shoulder, left elbow, left wrist, tip of the left thumb, tip of the index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, back to the left wrist, left elbow, left shoulders, pit of the throat, the center of the chest, right chest, center of the chest, left chest, and center of the chest. And relax. Note, of course, that this is not 31 different points. It's we focus on 31 points, but some of them, of course, they overlap. So in total, it's much less actual points that we concentrate on. So now you are going to do it on your own. The same thing exactly. So let's start now. and slowly relax. Now, open your eyes. So that was the relaxation part. Now we move to the pranayama aspects. So in pranayama, we're going to see to do a couple of practices that are very easy. One is just to breathe in and out in a couple of seconds, in and out. And once, like X seconds in, X seconds out, and one X seconds in, and then two X seconds out. So we're going to start with 4 seconds in and 4 seconds out. Just breathe in controllably and breathe out 4 seconds. Very easily, very calmly, very relaxed. And yeah, I know I repeat myself, but again, so the breath needs to be silent, continuous, no pauses as much as possible. Should be diaphragmatic, so from the diaphragm. So the shoulders, everything needs to be very relaxed. And then it should be again as smooth as possible. So no jerks, no tuck 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 tuck. It's really tuck tuck. We can notice that when we have this unevenness, it could often be some thoughts that came, and then it like stopped us, and then we, even if it's very small, and then we try to really make it smooth so that we also calm the mind. That's one of the main idea. So yeah, so let's do that. So again, breathe in for 4 seconds and out for 4 seconds. Very, very easy. So let's do that. and slowly relax. And so now we're going to do the 3 seconds in and 6 seconds out. If that is too much for you, then do just maybe 2 seconds in and 4 seconds out. Always do to your capacity. Never do something that you don't feel right with. So, yeah, this is very calming to the system, especially when we breathe out longer than we breathe in. That's a basic rule. And yeah, so let's do that. So breathe in 3 seconds and out for 6 seconds. You don't have to always count. Like if you count for once or twice and then you can stop counting. You just know more or less how to do it with the right tempo. Then you don't really need to count anymore because it can be a bit distracting. So let's do that. Um, okay, so before we move to the next practice, then let's take 5 minutes break. So let's continue. So we're going to do like yesterday the Nadishodanam. The second type. Second type is so Nadishodanam again is to exhale or inhale for different pattern. In certain pattern, usually one nostril at a time. So we block one nostril and we exhale, inhale, and so on. So the second type is when we imagine that we close the right nostril, then we exhale, inhale from left, switch, exhale, inhale, switch, exhale, inhale, switch, exhale, inhale, switch, exhale, inhale, switch, exhale, inhale. So in total it is 6 exhalation, 6 inhalation. And then that's one round. And the second round is when we begin with the other nostril than we've started in the first round, and we do the same. And then the third round is when we go back to the first nostril. So it's a fairly easy pattern. We always start with the exhalation and we end with the inhalation. So that's how we can remember it better. So we will do it one round together, and then afterwards you will do 3 rounds by yourself. So between each round you can take like 10-15 seconds rest and then continue. So let's do it. So to do it we go with the Vishnu Mudra. So index, middle finger we bend, then we use the thumb and the ring to close the nostrils. So inhale, exhale, inhale to start. Block right, exhale from left. Inhale from left. Switch, exhale. Inhale. Switch, exhale. Inhale. Switch, exhale. Inhale. Switch, exhale. Inhale. Switch, exhale. And inhale. And relax. So that is one round. So please do again first round. So you do 3 rounds in total by yourself. And yeah, try to be relaxed. It's not something that needs to be stressed or tensed. It's a very relaxed practice. Of course, if one nostril is blocked, usually it's not completely blocked, so one can actually breathe through. If it's completely blocked, then of course don't do it. Go back to breath awareness instead. But yeah, usually we can do it without too much issue. And the same thing applies as we saw before. So we try to make it diaphragmatic. We try to make it silent, so we don't close the glottis in order to make like the ocean breath. That's not an ocean breath practice. There's no retention. And yeah, we try to make it as smooth as possible. So exactly the same qualities as we did before. So it's a very natural practice, not complicated. We should not make it more complicated than it should be. Yeah, so let's do it now. and relax, and slowly open your eyes. Um, so now we move to the last practice that we will do of pranayama, which is Brahmari. Um, Very easy, just make a sound with the closed mouth. It's like we inhale and then and so on. It's very, very calming to the nervous system, very peaceful. If you do it with a low tone, then you will feel like your body is vibrating. You see your chest, especially, is very pleasant. And yeah, it should not be stressful, of course. That would not make much sense. Just should be very, very peaceful and tranquil. So let's do it for a couple of minutes. And slowly relax. So this should be done very relaxed way. One should not tense the shoulders or the neck. Um, should be very, very feeling very relaxed. Okay. So now we move to the next part, which is self-dialogue, which is to talk positively and kindly with our own mind in a positive way. So it can be either prayer, gratitude, higher truth, self-counseling, or friendliness with mind, or anything else that you can think of that is positive self-talk. But those are the main categories, possibly. Yeah, so you choose what you want to focus upon. Either you pray, best to be like a prayer from the heart that you yourself make, gratitude, just being grateful for everything. Um, Contemplation or higher truth, like who am I? Just ponder upon it. No need for answer. Just make the mind silently think about it subconsciously. And then self-counseling, like what do I want? Yes, which habits do I need to develop or stop? Um, and friendliness with mind, so just being friendly companion to the mind, just talking in a friendly manner to the mind about any topic that you wish. Um, yeah, so you choose, and let's do it um, um, for about 12 minutes. Now we move to the last part, which is meditation itself. But before that, let's take a 5 minutes break. So let's move to the meditation. So as usual, we're going to start with Kaya Steriam, which is body stillness practice or meditation. We try to be as still as possible. We can move, of course, if we feel pain. That is, of course, if we feel pain, then we should. Something is wrong with maybe the posture or anything, but it's better to solve this. But usually, possibly we will have discomfort. Discomfort is not the same as pain. Something that maybe we are a little bit less comfortable with, and then we can try to stay in that position even though we are not fully comfortable. If we feel itch somewhere, then we can try to just ignore it, just watch it, and see that it just passes away. Yeah, and then we can imagine that we are like a tree. We can use visualization. Tree or a mountain or a statue, something that is immobile and powerful. So yeah, and then once we are stable, then we pass on to meditation on the awareness of the breath in the entrance of the nostrils. Just being aware of it. You can use other objects of concentration. You can use also the, for example, the cold and hot air that comes in the nostrils. That can be the object of concentration if that is more obvious for you. If at some moment you do not really feel anything, you can actually breathe in and out quite forcefully, just once or twice, just to feel where you feel something. You can also feel the air on the upper lips, maybe for you. So it depends a bit on the physiognomy, but choose something that is okay for you, that works for you. The most important thing is just to be as concentrated as possible on that chosen object of concentration. Yeah, and initially, like once you start, you can count the breaths until 5 and then back to 1, just to be able, so that the mind has a more clear anchor, and then it will think less, much less, and then one can let go of that counting and go back to just watching the breath. And then if one has thoughts and one cannot like let go, then one can think the word thinking. It's like thinking, and then that will like it's like a trigger to return to our object of concentration. And you can just let go of the thoughts in the sense of just let it be. Thoughts are just thoughts. It's easier said than done, I know. When we have thoughts, we want to follow them, which is a natural response. But if we don't follow them, then they will just fade away by themselves after some time. We just try to, as much as possible, be in the present moment. And the thoughts are like clouds, so just let them come, let them go. No need to try to stop them or to repress them. Just let them come and let them go. But we should focus on our object of concentration, which is the air, sensations of the air in the wherever we feel it most. Yeah, that's basically it. So being mindful, basically, that's the idea. So mindfulness and meditation go hand in hand. One can say that meditation is the worker of mindfulness, or mindfulness is the boss of meditation, in the sense that meditation is like putting all our attention one pointed on one object. And mindfulness is making sure that that will happen. So like mindfulness is when we start to follow our thoughts, then it is mindfulness which will bring us back to our meditation. So it's like mindfulness always brings us to the right path, and meditation is the actual practice that we try to do. And why do we try to do it? It's just there are many reasons, but because our mind is, our attention is scattered, especially nowadays, in many directions, and we try just to bring some order in the chaos. So bring our focus, our attention on one object at a time, instead of being focused on 10 objects at a time. Our mind is not really made up to concentrate one pointedly on several objects at the same time. It cannot really do it. Not well, at least. I mean, it can more or less like switch very rapidly from one to the other, but it's like trying to juggle with 3 balls with the hands at the same time, riding a bicycle or unicycle, and at the same time telling a story, and then like, I mean, okay, maybe it's possible, but not many people can do it, and that's not really something that we should aspire to, like doing, like when we work on one object, on one project. It's for those who have like at work, who have many projects at the same time. We know how hard it is to be focused on one project, and then we have another project. Suddenly there is some incident and it's very urgent, and we need to respond to that all the time, and then we have to go back to the project, and then incident, and then project, and so on. It's very tiring, and it's not very one-pointed, and it's not very efficient. So, but at work, sometimes we don't have a choice. But still, we try to do one thing at a time, one project at a time. Not switch every 5 minutes, but give it full attention. Try to resolve it, and then pass to the next project or next things that we need to resolve. Same thing here. When we meditate, we basically train ourselves to really be focused on one thing at a time, so that we become laser focused. It's like like the sun. When we have the sun is lovely and is extremely powerful. But if we are outside, like the sun will not melt us. The sun, we can usually support the sun. But if we make it laser, like a laser focused way, like with magnifier, then that can create a fire, which is maybe not possible without some kind of apparatus. So the magnifier um, will make all the rays of the light come to one point together, and then it will be much more powerful. Like laser. Laser is is extremely powerful source of energy, of light, one could say. And why is it so powerful? Because it's focused. So same thing with the attention. When our attention is just on one object at a time, one object solely, then we become like a laser. Before that, we are like rays of the sun, which are scattered everywhere. And through meditation, through concentration, we become much more focused, and we can see results coming in, like peace, tranquility, etc. Of course, this should come with virtues. That's why virtues is very important. Concentration can be done without virtues, but that would lead to not necessarily good outcome. So that's why we need three aspects of spiritual practice or meditation. One is virtues, being a virtuous person as much as possible, kind and compassionate to all living beings. Then we need meditation, practice, mindfulness. Then we need wisdom. So it's like all three aspects are intertwined and should be developed simultaneously. Okay, enough of my babbling talks. So let's meditate a bit. So we're going to do two meditations. Two times practice. One 20 minutes where I will guide initially for the first 5 minutes for the Kayashtariam. And then we do this watching the breath. And the second 20 minutes, you will do everything by yourself after 5 minutes break. So let's do that. So be ready. Try to find a comfortable sitting position where you know that you can stay for a long time. So make it as comfortable as possible. Use cushions if you need to. Try to be relatively straight with the back. Ideally, we should not lean against the wall or a chair, but we can use something for lower back, like some cushions to help us feel better. Put cushions underneath your knees and just feel comfortable. So let's start. Take a couple of deep breaths from the nose and out from the nose. Feel completely relaxed. No tension anywhere. Bring your attention to your right leg, right foot, lower leg, upper leg, right hip, the entire leg. Just relax. Bring your attention to your left leg, left foot, lower leg, upper leg, left hip, the entire leg together, completely relaxed. Bring your attention to your navel, abdomen, torso, to your back, spine, lower back, middle back, upper back. Bring your attention to your right arm, right hand, lower arm, upper arm, right shoulder, and your entire arm completely relaxed. Bring your attention to your left arm, left hand, lower arm, upper arm, left shoulder, and the entire arm together, completely relaxed. Relax both your arms together, and you imagine that you are like a tree. Roots coming out of your legs to the center of the earth. Your back is like the trunk, branches coming out of you from the hands. You are very stable, yet flexible. Now bring your attention to the back of the head, top of the head, forehead, eyebrows, eyes, ears, nose, nostrils, lips, tongue, chin and jaw, completely relaxed. Relax your face, your mouth, your head, relax your torso, relax your entire body. And now start the practice of watching the breath. So let's take a 5 minutes break, and then we will do our last meditation of the morning. Okay, so get ready for the last meditation. It's going to last 20 minutes as well. And here you are going to, so it's all on your own, so I'm not going to guide it at all. Just do the same thing, Kaya Shteriyam, initially, just to that the body is comfortable and steady, and doing a very short body scan from foot to head, and then going to the watching the deep breath. So see you soon. So that concludes our session today, this morning. I hope you enjoyed it, that it brought something positive. So just to recap about the presentation today, it was about minimalism and veganism together. They are both wonderful paths, wonderful lifestyles. They have similarities. They are not exactly the same, but they are similar in many ways. Minimalism is something I'm very much a fan of. I think it's wonderful lifestyle to be really intentional, to live intentionally with and to make the right choices in everything. Like especially what we buy. Be extremely intentional, not to buy too much, only to buy what we really need, what we really want. And of course, that's related also to the vegan lifestyle, where we also need to be intentional with whatever we do, with our food that we buy, to only buy what we that is what is ethical, basically. Real food, not for me. Animals are not food. No animal products is food. It is an aberration, but that's how the world evolved for now. I believe it will change. I don't know if soon or not. I hope soon. But there is a good positive trend. I hope it will continue. We will see. But yes, I would recommend to watch the documentary Minimalism by the Minimalists, the two minimalists. They call themselves the Minimalists. They are lovely people. And yes, and this documentary is really quite eye-opening and super interesting. And yeah, also the challenge for today is just to reflect on that, reflect on our possessions. Do we really need all that we have in our house? Most of it probably we do not really need. We could just donate it or sell it, or if it's completely broken, then throw it away, recycle it if possible. And yes, maybe one challenge would be for to go into our kitchen and check everything that has expired. That could be quite fun and frightening. Maybe we will see things that have expired like 20 years ago. Maybe they start to have some life growing in them. So yeah, so thank you and have a wonderful day. I hope to see you soon, and bye bye.